All right. Sean, want to talk about this team has had a tendency of not getting the fastest starts. You've talked about this, been asked about this a whole lot in the past. I bring it up in the context of a year when a lot of the conversation is how will the football look given all kinds of obvious reasons, limitations, no off-season work, no preseason, and that there might be a rough-looking NFL, at least at the beginning. But for the type of team you and I'm sure other coaches feel this way, but the expectation, especially for the Bills, being what it is, wanting to have sustainable success, it would seem that the slower start, so to speak, isn't the kind of thing that you're going to want for that. What's your sense, as best you can, of what you've seen in training camp and your eyeball that tells you where this team is with regard to the readiness and to get off to the kind of start that you're hoping for as far as performance and such?
Yeah, there's certain unknowns as you go into every season, Vic. I think the biggest thing is just us being us. We've prepared, we've planned, and planned extensively amidst the situation that it is this season, and training camp in particular, and so we have to hold on to that and control the controllables at this point.
And one follow-up to that, as you watch practices with the timing thing, that isn't just quarterback receiver, it applies across the board. What's your general sense of where that is for your club, the timing?
Yeah, I feel like we're in a good spot with that. Listen, it can always get better, just like our fundamentals can always get better. So we're in tune with that, and we know, even though we feel, good about where that is, we feel like we still have a lot of work to do, not only in that area, but many areas.
Thank you, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, John Scott, good morning.
Good morning.
Kind of going off what Vic was asking about, I was curious how your game prep for the Jets has been altered, understanding that there's no preseason tape and you haven't seen any version of their 2020 team.
Yeah, our game prep, in a lot of ways, that process remains intact. Our standard remains intact, and that's what our guys have to understand is, even though there's no fans, our standard is still in place, and how we play and how we approach the game in terms of our preparation remains the same.
But having no game film or anything like that, I mean, how challenging? You don't have to go specifically how you went different, but how challenging has it been to try to get a feel on a team that again, you've never seen actually play on the field?
Yeah, it is a challenge. It's a challenge for both sides, because of the unknowns. But again, we're in the business of controlling what we can control. And, obviously they have some things, we have some things. And that's where over the course of the season that usually flattens out, where the unknowns become knowns. And not only knowing who we are, but also who your opponent is a little bit better. And I'm sure most coaches would have the same sentiment out there.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Thad Brown. Thanks. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Thad.
How much of, we heard all offseason about all the restrictions, all the things you couldn't do, and then all the catching up you had to do here in training camp. Now that we're into a game week and all that's done, how much of a bite did all that take out of what would have been a normal offseason for you?
Give me that again, Thad. You broke up at the beginning there.
Sorry about that. All the things that were lost because of COVID, all the restrictions, and then all the catching up you're trying to do in training camp. How much of a bite did all that was lost take out of what you would have normally done getting ready for a season this year?
Yeah, I don't know how you put a number on that, Thad. I don't even know at this point if that's healthy, right? Because we're so focused on where we're going and where we need to go. Still a lot of work to put in this week. But to your question, best I could do is we try and take good notes and try and make sure that we're doing the best we can to close that gap, whether it's this year or next year. depending on the situation. But just overall, I think, as I said before, here we just have to make sure that we are in a good spot mentally, physically, spiritually, and we're ready to go come Sunday.
Was there a mindset of trying to accelerate the last few weeks to catch up or make up for what was lost earlier in the offseason?
Yeah, I don't know about accelerate, but there's certainly things that you want to be able to check the box in terms of some things that we had to get done as a football team and advancing our team in different positions, different sides of the ball. So I thought we had good communication through the camp period of time with our coordinators and our staff, as well as our players, in order to try and address some of those areas. Look, there's always going to be things that come up that we have to adjust on during the year, and particularly in the beginning games of the year.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Coach, good morning. Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080.
Hi, Mookie. How you doing?
Good. The season is finally here. The regular season picking back up on where things left off last year. Defense right here. Offense, ranked in the top 20 in scoring. With the new additions offensively, Coach, what are your expectations this season?
Offensively, or you mean as a team?
Offensively.
Yeah, I want to make sure I answer your question. No, it's look, I expect us to be a fundamentally strong team, to communicate well and play good, aggressive, physical football, and that starts up front on both the offensive side and the defensive side, and special teams for that matter. So I think it's rather clear what our standard is and what we expect, and I think that empowers the players to play free, and so that's what we try and establish every year.
Well, I hope you can, taste that Gatorade in the fourth quarter. One thing I can say that you have changed the culture. I mean, if you didn't know, and I'm quite sure you do know, the last two games played, you lost the last two games played, and, you're still considered to be the favorites in the AFC East. So how do you get your guys back on the winning track, Coach?
Well, I think every team that doesn't win the Super Bowl, there's only one team usually that in the playoffs that ends the season on a high note with that final win. So, but every year is a new year, and we certainly have work to do. We're focused on that work. We're focused on the Jets, and putting our best foot forward. So that's all we can control at this point.
Yes, sir. All right, Coach. Well, good luck. Good luck on Sunday.
Appreciate it, Mookie.
Hey, Coach. Dante Lasting, Bills.com. Thanks for taking the time. My question's about A.J. Klein. Was free agent signing this year, kind of under the radar this training camp. And just what have you seen from him, and how does he fit in with this team and with this group of players?
Yeah, AJ's done a nice job. We've been together for some time, going back to our days in Carolina. He continues to have an influence on the team with his leadership, with the way he handles his business in an unselfish way every day, and then his value on special teams as well. So we're fortunate to have AJ, and I really appreciate him coming to Buffalo.
Thank you.
Sure.
Good morning, Sean. Josh Reed here. Any update on the right side of the offensive line?
Yeah, so you'll see different combinations out there today, but we're still working through it. I think the biggest thing is with Cody and Daryl and Ty, just to name three, we've got interchangeable parts in a lot of ways there. So we'll just continue to monitor it during the week. We just want to have, and I'm not holding back, Josh, I just want to have the best five out there. We've got confidence in all those guys.
Jordan Poyer named team captain this year, a new guy. Where have you seen him grow and kind of develop as a leader since he joined the squad back with you a couple of years ago?
Yeah, just growing off the field and on the field, just from a maturity standpoint to just a young man that handles his business in a professional manner. Not that he didn't before, but real coming of age of a young man that is playing good, solid football. He's one of the quarterbacks of our defense, and we're fortunate to have him.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate your time.
Yep, sure, Josh.
Hey, Sean, I'm just curious as to how the three soft tissue injuries are coming along with Levi Wallace, Josh Norman, and Vernon Butler, because I saw you put you protected some of those guys at similar positions from your practice squad this week. So how are they coming along?
Yeah, Josh will be out today. We'll just see on Levi and Vernon. They look like they're in good position. We'll know more as we get through practice today.
What is the rest of the injury report, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, not much different. Not much more to add, Joe. It's Ty want to be a little bit limited as well, but other than that, I think we're good to go.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Sorry, we got Marcel with the next.
Hey, Sean, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Marcel.
All right. Just kind of going off of the corners. I know you said Josh is out today, but just based on the limited time you've been able to see both Josh Norman and Levi Wallace on the field, do you feel comfortable with who you're going to roll out as a starter opposite of Trey White come Sunday?
Yeah, we do. Confident and comfortable in those players, and so we playing team defense, and it never really comes down to one player. We feel good about our roster. We feel good about our defense. Feel good about our offense and special teams. We're just going to have to continue to develop our team as we move forward, and that's. I think that the awareness, the self-awareness around that is big at this time of year. You there?
Yep. Hey, Sean. Oh, am I there? Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Those of us, who weren't up there watching your training camp, can you just tell us, what signs of progress you saw from Josh this summer? And also curious what Brian Winters has given you in the month that you've had him. Thank you.
Yeah, Josh is off to a good start. I thought from year 1 to year 2, he improved in specific areas. Year 2 to year 3, again, improved in other areas, and really appreciate his growth mindset. He's a humble young man and a good teammate, and I think his best football is in front of him. And then Brian Winters, welcome addition to our team, to our Bills family. I know he has family here in Buffalo as well, so I think and I hope it's a good fit for him. He's a guy that's played a lot of snaps, as you know, and played at a high level. So he's a guy that we're counting on this season.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Sal Mayeron in Rochester. Good to see you. I guess nobody's asked you about this Jets defense yet, which is going to present some problems for you. Can you maybe go over a couple things that really stand out on defense from the Jets?
Yeah, I'll start with their defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, and his staff. They've got a tremendous coaching staff that do a great job, very aggressive. They try and give you different looks and move people around. They do a really good job inside out and playing physical. So I think to your point, they do present a challenge.
And if I could ask Sean about Sam Darnold too, forever and ever, Josh and Darnold, because they're in the same class, are always going to be compared. Can you give us an impression of what you've seen from Darnold in his first 2 years?
Yeah, we went through the process with Sam. A lot of respect for Sam and his work and who he is, and so I think as you look at him, he's mobile. He does a good job in the pocket. Does a good job getting them in and out of checks at the line of scrimmage based on the looks he's presented with. So he looks like a young quarterback with a lot of upside.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Sean, a two-parter here. First, when Brandon and you were creating a plan or a vision for this franchise after drafting Josh, just how important was it to surround him with as much weapons as possible early in his development, kind of help him along the way?
Yeah, I mean, it's important. You're also, only able to do what you're able to do with within the salary cap as well. And so I feel like each year we've gotten better with that. And to Josh's credit, he has competed every year and improved himself. And that's really where his focus has been on improving himself, which is the one thing he can control. And so I think that those two mindsets together, when done the right way, I think help a young quarterback and his future in this case.
Did you guys look at this first 4-year window when he's on his rookie contract as a special opportunity to, fortify various elements, not only on offense, but defense as well, via free agency and the draft?
I mean, we just look at it every year. Every year is a new year. Every year is a different year. The team is different. And so we're just, again, always trying to do the best we can in the short and the long term for the Bills organization.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Heather Prusak here. Sorry, I'm having some trouble with my webcam, but I just wanted to ask you, when we talked to Jerry the other day, I asked him if you guys had talked as a team about doing any kind of demonstration to, using your platform to speak out against racial injustice and social injustice. And he said that as a team, you guys had talked about providing internet services for teachers and students in the city of Buffalo. I just wanted to get your perspective on that. If you could just expand on that. He said that's something you guys are going to do for week 1.
Yeah, Jerry was one of the guys that did a great job just in helping coordinate that, along with Harrison Phillips and a few others. So I think it's a great initiative by the players and the Bills organization overall, and I just appreciate that it was well thought out. It means a lot, obviously, and there's certainly a lot of people out there that we can improve their situation, and we're going to start doing things to the best of our ability, or continuing to do things in the local community in Buffalo here.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, I was curious, the Jets are in a situation where they basically had to rebuild their entire offensive line, in the middle of a shortened offseason with the pandemic. Is that something, as you game plan, that you look at, that we have a veteran defense that's been around for a while, we can exploit this?
I think Joe Douglas, the general manager, does a great job. I have a lot of respect for him and the way he's building that team. And so, they've added some really good pieces. They're a talented football team. And so we're going to have our work cut out for us, whether it's the offensive line in this case or the many other pieces that have been added this offseason.
Hey, Sean, one more. I just had a little follow-up to the question about the cornerbacks. Mostly since it's been so rare that both of them were on the field at the same time, do you feel like you got adequate enough time to really evaluate who is the best option at that position?
Well, would I love to have some other, weeks that we could have strung together here? Yeah, I think if you poll any coach around the league, they would say the same. So we are where we are, and we're doing the best job we can, and we expect that whoever plays to come out and play at a high level. And that's how we see it, honestly. Okay, thanks, guys.